What up, chat? How we doing? What up, Trade Wop, Victoria, Eldred, Robert, Raw, Joe? Yeah, we did get a new thumbnail. Daniel, how you doing? Daniel, I'm gonna be honest. I'm fucking tired. Nah, I went to bed at like 4, woke up at 8, so I'm pretty sure I streamed longer than I slept yesterday. So that's cool. Saw you in Alan stream? Yeah. What up, Cole? IAG, Alex. What up, Vish? Tired of making money? I mean, yesterday or today was a good day. Today was a good fucking day. I know a lot of people probably got stopped on YM. I know a lot of probably got spiked. And when I show this chart, if you weren't in it, it's going to be brutal for some. It is. It is. I did move my stop later on throughout the night. I talked about it enough during the stream. I also talked about re-entries. Both options were there. You could have easily nailed it. Problem is, you had to be up at 2:40 in the morning. Your boy just happened to be, you know? With this though, our original stop, which this just looks disgusting. That's the original stop. So if you held the original stop, you had one little wick candle at 2:40. Hit that stop and then just ripped. I don't know what that candle was at 4:50. But I had moved my stop to there before that happened. Because when we got down in this area and we held the low, I'll move this back for a second. And we held this low. We held our stop by 4 points. The second I saw that, I knew even if we wanted to spike that low, just the slightest bit, I was going to get stopped out. At that point, I fully made the decision. I'm going to widen this stop. Because here's where my mindset was with that. If I was going to get stopped, what was I immediately going to do? Look for another entry. What would that do? Add extra risk on the trade. Well, in that case, why don't I just add extra risk on this first trade? And if it gets stopped, I'm just out. So that's what I decided to do. At that point, I moved my stop down to 40 just to give myself that little bit of extra room, and it worked beautifully. What really sucks is I did have the hard trim set at 49.7s. I mean, this is like my stakes too juicy kind of aspect because I got a trim filled here. I didn't think we would get up to here within 4 hours by the time I got up. I figured we'd be able to look for a little bit of a continuation up into there. You know, maybe a rally up into like 700s, a bit of a longer consolidation, and then we rip. So I didn't set this trim. I ended up getting out around 8-ish. So somewhere in this little rally right here, I got out, I think around like 8:30, 8:40s for my last contracts. Even then, with that, I still cooked my consistency rule. Cooked it. Absolutely smoked that consistency rule. So now I got to make like $6,000 on those accounts to get payouts. But I said it was going to happen. If we got up here though, if I set this trim, it would have been $2,900 per account, and I would have had to make damn near $10K to get a payout. That would have sucked a little bit. So I'm kind of happy it happened. Saw me in Allen stream. Yep. Appreciate you, Daniel. What up, Vish? Appreciate you guys. I mean, it's just simply looking at the market and just determining the overall structure. Everything on the YM made sense. And even yesterday when I talked about it, I said the same thesis can happen with this trade. I gave as much detail as I could as exactly why I thought this trade could hit there. And it hit there not once, not twice, but I think 3 times. So there was trades even throughout the entire day. I caught DIA options like right here. Now, mind you, I put in Discord, I'm not signaling shit today because I was on 4 hours of sleep. I knew there's a chance my execution was off. I trimmed this fast, but I was just looking to catch a little bit. So I caught some on options and then called it a day. so pissed. Blew the account. If I didn't have a stop loss, I would have hit T. Yeah, but Vish, if you didn't have a stop loss and it reversed, you would have blown the account anyway. Sarek, I'll dive into it 100% because I'm straight out the gate. We're going to talk about the market real quick. We're back to where I was like 2 days ago. I have low expectations, low as shit. And I feel like most should for this session right now. Why? Because just remember what we did throughout the entire fucking day, right? The overall market, I think, was up, what, 2-3%? I mean, we called the entire rally last night easily. The day before, we called the entire RTY rally. So there's been trades drastically. Did I catch all of them? No, but we fucking banked on the YM. So I'll take it. I'll take one good trade of the week. And to be honest, I'm ready to be done for the week, but I'll still be here. Gold does look interesting. Gold as well. Number one thing I wanted to watch was if we get over that 46.40, where were we looking at? 720s. Where did we go? We went to a high of 734. That's not too bad when you're calling that move from around 600, 610s. I'll take that any day. So if someone caught gold as well during the overnight, fucking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That just shows you there was a lot of potential even from last night's stream if you didn't take the YM. That's also why I say on the YM, build a plan on all my trades. Build a plan, trade your plan. For me, luckily I was up. I was able to move that stop loss as I wanted to. Worked out. There's a chance I would have taken a larger loss than initially planned. I think it would have been like 400, 450. But with that risk, I was risking 450, even with trims, and I didn't get my fill all the way at the highs. Still made like 1,900 per account. I'll take that. What caused me to take this trade? If you go to the 4-hour chart, and I'm just going to do a TLDR because I went over it probably 4 times yesterday in that stream. Now that stream is 4 hours. I'm not going to tell you to go back and watch a 4-hour stream. Appreciate it if you do, even if you go leave a comment. But 49 520s was our pivot. We had the highs, lows, mids. If we got over that, I knew we were likely going straight for the highs. I talked about it religiously over and over and over. Why? Because there's not a whole lot of resistance there. You start to look at the daily chart. At that same time, we get over that level. We have the break on the daily chart. Technically, this is the daily higher low. It is unconventional as hell, but it's a daily higher low. What's going to happen if we trigger over this daily? We're going to likely go retest the recent highs, which we did. I don't know if we fully spiked over this, 138, 135. No, so we didn't even break this high, but we still got up to this wick. Now, here's the crazy thing with the YM, like we talked about yesterday. If we break this 50,000, 140, 150 area, where are we looking? I'm looking at all-time highs, straight up. Easy, no doubt. Look at this weekly chart. If this weekly chart breaks, like I want to throw money in the next week DIA options. I was going to do it today. I said I'm not going to do that because if it starts to go red, I'm going to execute horribly. So I didn't. So I waited. But if this weekly chart breaks, I think we easily rip above 51,000. Easily. Without any hesitation. We would do something like all the other indices have been doing for weeks straight, where we break new all-time highs and just get a strong rally. I still want to see the YM hit all-time highs at some point. At that point, then I'll be like, all right, all 4 indices hit all-time highs. Are we going to respect this or are we going to start to reject? I think that's something the market's kind of waiting on. What up, Steph? What up, stock market, baby? Thoughts on the gold chart? Daily Fed to go lower would have been even better. Yesterday, you mean? I don't think it needed a daily Fed to go lower at all because we have this massive daily support that we held here. I think gold was one of the easier longs as well. Today, how the hell are we going to get a daily Fed to go lower, brother? We would have to sell off 150 points. Oh, a day of consolidation can make sense. I'm fully anticipating the overnight session leading to more of a consolidation. Because I can tell you one thing I really don't want to do right now, and that's short. And there's going to be people in here that might want to short this session. If it works, cool. For me, I'm really not interested. Like, at all. In the slightest. Not interested in shorts. Gold can make sense for a daily consolidation. But I also talked about this yesterday, especially when Jake was in the chat. If we look at this daily chart, does it look crazy? Yes. But then you go back and look at what gold does when it rallies out of a consolidation. When it rallies out of a consolidation, gold fucking rips. If gold wants to go, it'll be at these highs tomorrow. Or by maybe not tomorrow, but by the end of the week. Give me a little consolidation bar, at least through the overnight. Maybe a close near the highs tomorrow. Friday, give me the just absolute monster candle up to 49,000. You can't tell me that wouldn't look picture perfect easily. And we can do that during the overnight. We spent the entire day consolidating. That could break this session and continue higher. You go to the weekly chart. If we get any type of break above 4,750s, we break last week's highs. We start a full weekly outside bar that failed to go lower off the initial move. What is that as well? A weekly higher low. If we get a weekly higher low, same thing with YM daily chart, where do we target? The recent highs. That's 4,900. I think 4,900 can easily get there. It's just a question of when. Is he going to make the move this session? This chart looks great on every time frame. I'm going to be a little cautious today, mainly just because today was a really fucking good day. And I'm honest about that. Most of my bad days come after really good days. So I'm going to be a little patient today. And I'm cool with that. Because I also know if I'm patient and I just talk about analysis, a lot of y'all are going to crush trades. What up, SoCal Brady? Sorry, I'm catching up on chat a little bit. Need my help. I'm struggling with consistency in trading as I try to skip the first 15 minutes. As we all know, it's volatile as is. If we see the past week, this week, every day have been chopped after first. Correct. Vantas, I think he's talking about New York. Are you talking about are you talking about New York? Or are you talking about Asia session? Jose, Tradeify with the bank thing isn't a problem for me. What killed me is I spent 40 minutes trying to do the KYC yesterday and it just didn't work. It would not work. I could not get it to work. I tried every option they had there. It just didn't work. So I have till I'm eligible for a payout to figure it the fuck out. Luckily, I made enough today where it's probably going to take a little bit. So I got time, but dude, it would not do the KYC at all. What up, Johnny? Could be a 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4. You talking about gold 4 hour? Yep. I mean, it could be a 1, 2, 12 if it wants to be, you know, it can continue to consolidate a little bit. But no, if we get over that like 730s area, I think gold wants it. I'm not overly interested in just slamming into it yet. I'd rather wait and see. Evening com. NQ coming for that gap fill. That little gap fill. By the way, this is a good example. A lot of people talked about the gap fill last night on NQ. Remember, doesn't always have to be filled. We talked about it. As long as it held the prior day's highs, which is right around this area, I had no interest in going for that gap fill. Never filled it. Eventually we might, but for now, that gap is history. I don't care about it. Yes, New York session. My whole thesis with New York is I'm usually not trading till at least 10 or 10:30. Unless I absolutely love a chart, love a setup, and I'm mainly looking at options. I don't trade futures till like 10, 10:30. I let the early morning bullshit settle down, and then I look to trade it. I love trading the slower conditions. That's why I love trading Asia session. I love trading mid to late day on the indices. New thumbnail's crazy. It's interesting. It's interesting for sure. Tyler, this is my full-time job. My full-time job is trading and looking pretty for you guys, right? I mean, even outside of, and this isn't talking like money, it's just rhetorical in general. There's nothing to flex about. Outside of the trade from last night, I caught a little bit of DIA options today, made like $700 somewhere around there. That pays a quarter of my bills for the month. I don't have insane expenses. So I don't have to make a lot to be able to be a full-time trader. At least me personally. And I knew I could make it basically when I went full-time. And then when I was able to be at the point where like, all right, my bills are at least paid by this, I'm fine. Jake looking Spanish in the thumbnail. He's looking more and more Spanish the tanner he gets, dude. He's getting dark. He's tanning a lot, which is good. I mean, it's just knowing market conditions. If we're being overly volatile like we are right now, right? We're coming into the day already up 40 points on ES, probably a couple hundred on NQ. Yeah, about 200 on NQ. You're going to see volatility. We know the current market conditions at the open is volatile. So I do not care what the initial move does. I will wait until 10:30, till maybe like 10:15. Just whenever I see price action settle down a little bit, I personally just have zero interest in trading the open. I don't. If I didn't have to do like a watch list in the morning that I do every day, I would not. I probably, like today, I probably wouldn't have even gotten up to like 10 because I would have just zero interest. It's just knowing when you're going to be able to execute well. If you look at the open, immediately see volatility, and volatility usually gets you, don't trade it. We don't have to trade every day. If I only traded the one YM trade last night and the little options trade today, my whole week's made. I'm good. That's it. That's all I need. Actually, that's like 2 weeks made. I have no problem not trading. Will I trade? Yeah, 100%. But you don't have to trade every single day as a trader. You don't have to trade every single session as a trader. Nathan, my guy, I promise you I didn't take any trades this stream. We are 16 minutes in. The ES is currently in a 4-point range. You don't have anything to worry about, my guy. You don't have anything to worry about. AXP, did you make 40 yesterday? Because I know you longed NQ and YM. And I know you had some minis. And I know you like to fucking hold. What do you mean diff to execute? Like difficult to execute, not executing? Five mini, 2 YM. Ooh. I mean, G, and I'll catch up to the other chat. I'm just finishing this conversation. That's just got to come from perspective in the end. You have, at that point, you're likely giving yourself a fear of missing out on trades. And there's no reason to. Trades happen. Trades happen all the fucking time. Every day. All day. They happened last night. They happened multiple times today in the markets. Could have longed here. Could have longed here. Could have longed this little pullback here. Could have longed 3 different times on YM up into our level. There's trades all the time, every session. Me personally, I don't care if I miss a trade. If I let FOMO get to me at all, I probably would have executed poorly on the YM, because I could look at gold and be like, we should have caught gold. It was an easy trade. Could have just held for 150 points, made a shitload of money. I don't give a shit about this chart. I wasn't looking to get in this chart. I wasn't like, was it a nice setup? Yes. Was it something I'd be interested in taking? Yes, but I had my eyes on the YM. Even if I'm looking at a trade and it happens, like today, if a big move happens today and I don't get in, it is what it is. From my whole perspective, it is what it is. I do not care. I have the confidence in my strategy. I will find another trade, another setup, and we've shown it on streams. Every single one of us has shown it on streams. And you have to get yourself to that point to where you don't feel like you desperately have to be in a position. And the reason I'm not overly dire to execute, I literally streamed longer yesterday than I slept. The chance of me having A plus execution on every trade is going to be slim right now. So I know I need to be a little reserved. Will I take a trade? If I see a setup I love, I will. What am I going to do? Probably 5 micros. Something I might risk $120 on, where it won't kill me at all. If I get stopped, I get stopped, and it is what it is. So it's just knowing your expectations and managing them in the end. And it takes a while to get to that. You gotta lay off the fraud for a little bit and then try it. What do you mean the fraud? But no, what it was doing, I could upload everything, but as soon as it would go to doing like the selfie part of the KYC, it wouldn't link to my camera, even though it showed that it was fully linked. It just wouldn't let it access it. And then if I did it on my phone, it would immediately say I was using a VPN and I can't do it. And I was like, how the hell am I using a VPN if I don't even have a VPN? What did I take the DIA entry this morning? Let me get you the honest facts. Because I could look at the chart and say, oh, this is a good looking entry spot. I got in here. I'll give you exactly where I entered. I got in at 9:34. So shortly after the open. Pretty sure 34. Yeah, so this candle closed when we got near the highs. I just longed. Why? Because this is a full higher low. We were breaking back over these highs. Uptrend, where was I targeting here? To be honest, I sold quick. I think I held through this pullback, which the contracts maybe went red 10, 15%. We got back up here and I just sold. I didn't care. At that point, I knew if it pulled back again, I was not going to execute well. So I just closed up. Yeah, AXP, you crushed it, brother. Beautiful trades. Are we finally running some Tesla options? I saw Tesla today. There's a few charts I'm still interested in. Tesla has a lot of potential if it wants to finally break. Problem is, it's not breaking. I'm still in the whole thesis. I want Tesla over 420s. Over 420s, I'm ready to just send this thing to the moon. Anything under 420s, we're still in all this bullshit, right? All this bullshit, all this bullshit. I don't want to be in that bullshit. I want to be out of the bullshit, and then we run it. Another name that's interesting, but not like, holy hell, I desperately need to be in this right now, Microsoft. Why? It has been lagging aggressively. What do we do consistently throughout this entire range? Held this daily support. It's something we watch all the time on most of our larger trades. Watch the daily supports. If we continue to hold them, look for the break on the daily. We get the break on the daily. Where do you target? Recent highs. That puts us at 430. That's not a bad move. Start to look at the weekly chart. We do have a weekly inside bar. It could close an inside bar. If it does, I'll be watching it next week. You know, it's just when it breaks, I'll be interested. Until then, I'm sitting on hands. Do I think there's a lot of potential in options? Yeah. I mean, NVIDIA today ran 5%. What's Blackstone's ticker? Yeah, SoCal Brady. It's just some people can't sleep with positions open, and that's fine. That's okay. And you get used to it. For me, I mean, to be fair, I didn't have to sleep long, right? I stayed up long enough to where I was like, all right, this thing's either going to hold or stop me out. And I let it go. But after you catch some of those trades, you'll get more used to it, especially during the session. You just got to remember a lot of my trades, when I build a larger target like that, and I say that's like my primary target, I'm fully sized and planned to hold overnight. And there's days like yesterday where my sleep will be fully sacrificed for that. And, you know, sometimes it'd be like that. After winning days, I also get days where any position I take, the market is moving the opposite direction and shit's so frustrating. Well, if it's moving the opposite direction, that means you're likely either just not taking a good entry And what it usually means or stems from is you're chasing the dopamine off of the big winning day. And I've been there, I've done it. My biggest loss came a few days after my biggest win. And I'm open about that as hell. But yeah, it's just, I would just, when that happens, take a day. If you have a really good winning day, take a day off. There's nothing wrong with doing that at all. Especially if you have a day that's like a week maker, right? Like NVIDIA 2 weeks ago, if I wasn't actively, let's say, streaming or doing other stuff, I may not trade for 3 days after that just because there's no need to. I made enough to make a month. I don't want to give that back. At that point, like if I want to trade less, I could just take the rest of the month off and chill. But we've been doing well, so I'm going to keep trading. What's your biggest loss this year? Probably 1,200. I think 1,200. It's nothing crazy at all. I haven't had like a holy shit loss at all this year. I mean, is 1,200 a larger loss for me? Yeah. But I've had multiple trades over winning that, so I'm okay. Normally my plan loss is 500, so it's what 1 point or 2.2R, 2.4R, somewhere in there. That ain't gonna kill me. Had to do it on my computer, my laptop camera. The staff had no clue, and honestly, Tradeify site won't even load for me on mobile. It's trash. I've never tried it on mobile. I just know it would not let me do it, but I'll try that. I saw Brett this morning talk about it when they announced the Tradeify Cup, which is sick. And he said try incognito mode, so I might try that. BX is Blackstone. I mean, it's definitely relatively weak. This chart reminds me a lot of Microsoft, to be honest. That's almost identical to Microsoft. Hang on. And I'm still keeping an eye on the markets. They're not doing shit right now, so I'm not worried about it. I don't know what I just entered. I mean, they're similar. They're not identical, but they're definitely similar. So that's okay. But no, I mean, you're just gonna be looking at the daily resistance right here. Daily resistance around 126.50s. Get over that. Look towards these highs. If we break this whole resistance area here, right around like 33, 34, you have room easily. This is just going to be a really, really big pivot. I'm going to draw one of my boxes once I figure out where it is. Go like here. And if you look back here, you can see how well this has been respected. This is why I draw these. I draw these where the larger daily pivots are. This has been respected since July of 2024. That's going to be a big resistance. This is one of those charts where if we get over 136, I'd be ready to watch it rip. NBIS. I don't even know what this is. Isn't this one of the names that like everybody was trading today? Like if someone posted some big win today, it was on this chart. And I don't know how that works. I feel like there's so many people that just all of a sudden find a name like this and everybody's in it. Like, is there a Discord I'm missing where everyone's just posting these setups? Because I ain't seen them. I just see them after everybody gets in them. You know, the chart looks good. Made a really nice break. Something like that where you see that strong of a chart and you think there's a lot of upside potential. I'm just going to size for a larger loss and let it rip. Yeah, Eldridge, but it was a lot of like signal people because I'm pretty sure Zach Austin took this. Could be wrong, but he took a name similar to this where it made like a 10% move. AXP, I don't see prop firms being worth it to you. I really don't. Because how much are like if you genuinely made 40K off last night's trades, Why would you give a single fuck about making a $2,000 payout from a prop firm that you have to follow rules to do? You know, I know you probably just want to like see what they're about, but to me, you're the outlier person where I'm like, why would you even really think about it? Funny if your biggest was AMC and Snow, because that was mine. I've never traded AMC or GameStop in my entire life, and I don't plan to. I don't. The only meme-ish names I traded was SPACs, and that was in my first year of trading. So those charts, I have zero interest in meme names. They can rip, they can make hundreds of thousands of percents. I don't care. It's just not, I don't want to gamble in trading for the most part. Occasionally I'll get a little degenerative, but it's usually with a thesis going on. But no, my overall lifetime largest loss was Snow. It was like 300 something contracts of 0 days that were out of the money. And it was me fully chasing dopamine. Honestly, Hassan, I don't know what 90% of the tickers do. On my watch list, I know what a lot of them do because they're all the larger companies. I don't know what all of them do, but I know what most of them do. I just care what the chart looks like. Yeah, if this breaks this daily resistance, I see exactly what you're looking at. You're just going to look for the absolute squeeze higher. I see exactly what you're looking at every time frame. I like it. There's a lot of potential there. Just, do you have a brick wall here? Needs to get over like 76, 77s. Chris K, Discord. Micron been on a generational run? Dude, it has been. That's why I was so heavily interested in NVIDIA. What was that? 2 weeks ago? Whenever it was, I think 2 weeks ago. Because all of the semiconductor names have been ripping, but NVIDIA and Qualcomm. So eventually they're going to play that game of catch up. NVIDIA can easily play that game of catch up. If NVIDIA wants to continue this daily trend, let's say we get a consolidation tomorrow, we can look for another Friday where NVIDIA just goes right towards all-time highs. I guarantee you right now, 215s are stupid cheap. That's why I've loved trading NVIDIA. The contracts, for some reason, are insanely cheap, especially when you compare it to something like MU and AMD that are making 10% moves every other day. Obviously, AMD's up it was up like 30%, whatever. But there's so much potential for how cheap the contracts are. All it takes is one move one move and you get a really nice return. AMD made a lot of people really wealthy this year. Yeah. Biggie will probably be here eventually. He'll start listing some random names. Also, the new person, what was it, like MKE that won yesterday, never shot me a DM. So if I see him on stream or someone sees him on stream, we got to let him know because I don't know if he knows how to actually get the account. Wild chart, pull up DRAM. What up, cowboy? What's the market cap even on this thing? Round Hill Memory? Huh. I mean, yeah, that's crazy. I wouldn't even say it's wild. Because when you look at this, is this a large move? Yeah. But that's 73%. Fuck. AMD this year alone is up 120. That ain't shit. You know? When you see mega cap names making larger moves than that, I mean, it's a nice move, don't get me wrong. But this is ripping. It's the memory ETF. Okay. For an ETF, that's a crazy move. I'll give you that. Yeah, Vantis, but then he has to deal with trailing drawdown as well, which I get. But it's all trailing, which can really get him. Meme stocks, no. Soybeans and cheese, yes. Victoria, I'm gonna say it right now. I would rather trade soybeans and cheese futures over GameStop and AMC. And I fully mean that from the bottom of my heart. Trading is for girls. Hell of a name. What up? How you doing? Do I size my options for 0? No, I don't. Okay, like if I'm taking an options trade at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm sizing it for 0 because it's likely going to 0, you know? For me, no. What I do is I have a good gauge on options just from my time trading it. I typically know, especially why I only trade these names. I know if it pulls back to X level, it'll likely be 30% in drawdown. All I'm going to do at that point is size it for 40, 45% in drawdown. So I do not care if it gets that pullback. I'm just going to make it and size it so it does not matter to me if it gets that pullback. It will not impact me mentally at all. And it just allows me to execute it better. But no, I don't use hard stops on them. And I trade price action. That's why when I signal future or options trades, they'll go a little bit lower, but I don't post, I'm sizing this for a 30% loss. I post, this is the area I'm watching for support. If it breaks, I get out. So do they actually send your trades to the real market eventually, or is it all paper trading? Either way, the payouts are real money. Payouts are real money. In the beginning, it is all paper. For some reason, some people think once you're funded, it's a live account. It's not. It's paper. If you do well enough, you trade well enough, and they're like, all right, this guy kind of knows what he's doing, they'll give you a live account with live capital to trade. That is where you would excel. And if you're trying to trade prop firms, that's where I would aim towards. And something people say take profit trader. I don't know what their live account looks like. For me, I would be interested in more so the Tradeify Lucid aspect, because the way they're structured, you can get multiple live accounts. And that is where you could really capitalize on it. So if you take 5 accounts and you pass them all, get them to the live stage, they'll give you up to 5 different live accounts with the balances that you had already made from paper. So at that point, if you catch those trades you just caught last night, 40K, it's daily payouts, it's 200K to the bank. And it's stupid if you get to that part. Most people aren't trading that aggressive though. Hassan, if I slept, I probably would have watched NVIDIA, but I didn't sleep enough to trade 0 days. If I traded 0 days today, I probably would have gotten my shit rocked. Just straight honesty. But no, NVIDIA was a really nice potential today for that. Which way do you think gold is breaking out tonight? Well, I don't have interest in shorting it at all. I've been clear about it. I do not have interest in shorting today. Can this chart pull back? Yes. This chart could easily come back, retest this if it really wanted to, and get that move. I'm not interested in trading that. I'm not interested in trading a daily chart that looks like this. What I would rather do is wait for a consolidation, wait for the pullback to happen, look to long the pullback if it does. To me, gold's still not out of the woodworks yet. I want to see how the weekly closes, which still has 2 days. If we do get a daily consolidation or a broader consolidation, let's say the 4 hour throughout the overnight, I think gold can easily rip. It's not a chart that I really want to short. Same with the indices. There will be a short at some point, but I'm not looking to short yet. And Q just played me hard. My stop was 665. Oh, you put what were you long? That's the hard part, though, is you put your stop above the open if you were. So it came down, got you, and went. Trade, I'm bullish on the indices overall. But for me, it's just, what do we do on these? Like, if you look at this chart, this is a 5-minute, you're waiting for a pullback. You are desperately waiting. Do I think we're going to rip straight lower now? No. Can we? 100%. We easily can. The NQ is now up 25% off the lows. At some point, we will get a pullback. I've said it multiple times. What do? I keep longing the shit out of the charts, and it keeps working. So I'm going to keep doing it till it doesn't work. Our biggest pullback within a 25-point rally was 2%, almost. Don't be shocked, and we can go higher, like I said, but don't be shocked if one day we see this on a red bar. If that happened, I would look at it and be like, that checks out fully. That makes perfect sense. But I'm still not bearish on it. I'm waiting for that day to happen. When it does, I'll be like, all right, let's see if we can do something. But until then, I'm going to keep waiting till I find a long. Friday's NFP. I mean, here's my thing too. And it rightfully so, a lot of people want like a larger pullback. They're looking for it. FOMC was supposed to tank the market. CPI or whatever was last week was supposed to tank the market. This shit's not tanking the market. The market's still going higher. So I'm not going to short. The one thing I'm paying attention to is oil. The biggest reason I could see the market selling off is if oil got above 110. If oil remains below 100, inflation is going to go back down. It's not going to be as high as it currently is. And the only chance we pop a huge bubble that, from my perspective, right, my lack of knowledge perspective, is if oil makes new highs. If oil gets that continuation up and we get up towards like 120s. We get up towards 120s, I'm going to watch the world burn because it's probably going to happen if we get up there. But while we stay lower, while we stay back in this area under 100, I'm not looking for the world to burn. Because now all it takes is, oh my God, the war's over. Oil's back at 80. Inflation's back to where it was before the war even started. And everyone just starts pumping oil again and the world's whole. NFP prop room's favorite day. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for NFP and to see all the people on social media post, oh my God, this is the easiest passing strategy where they place an order long and an order short above and below and they get liquidated both ways. Happens every single time we have news. And they keep doing it. Got some nice calls on SMCI. It's a chart I haven't looked at in a while. Ooh. Is SMCI finally back? Is it finally done being slaughtered? This chart looks horrible, dude. It looks better now since it had a 25% day. But before that, this chart looked atrocious. No, a lot of potential there. We long in YM again? I'm not yet. I think there's definitely potential for a YM long, but not yet. I think this is going to be a lot of waiting. There's Big Austin that everyone was looking for. He's here. I think these charts are just going to be waiting. I think it's going to be patience. Especially if we have NFP Friday. People are going to be waiting one day. We might see some more chop bullshit volatility again, where we get kind of like this price action that we got earlier in the week. Yeah, we got on Sunday. Well, we might see a little bit more of that going into Friday. Hopefully Asia open as movement. I don't have a whole lot of conviction. G, what's Nifty? Give me the ticker. I know it's futures in some aspect. This. I mean, you have a strong weekly buy triggering. As long as we hold last week's highs, this chart's bullish. Daily charge triggering. You can look for a rally if it wants to get it up towards like 24 nines, 25 thousands. Over that, you have a lot of room higher towards like 25 sevens. Pretty straightforward chart, to be honest. Someone said natural gas. Do you trade natural gas? The chart looks horrible. I guarantee you there's people out there that are staring at this and longing every single opportunity they can. There probably is people longing every opportunity, every test of this. Because they're like, oh my God, it's going to break, it's going to squeeze. We're going down so far. Continuously going down. If we get over last week's highs, yeah, we can see a rally. This weekly chart, though, if I delete this god awful trend line, right now that's a weekly failure to go higher, weekly lower high. I'm not long on that. Not at all. If the daily sets a failure to go lower today, and then we end up getting some type of rally Friday, that can change the whole perspective of the chart. But for now, kind of sucks. But no, I see what you're looking at for a possible long. It's not something I'm interested in. I'm also not looking to trade that chart personally. What up, Ramoy? How you doing? Would like to get my advice from your comment earlier. Oh, let me look at your logs. The one thing I'll say though is when it comes to trading, I'll give feedback. I'm not really going to give advice. We're at all-time highs. It's the exact same thing I said when someone asked me on ES yesterday, right? Someone asked, where would I target? I said, hold numbers, which would have been 93 fives, which I talked about last night. We rallied directly into that pre-market. No worries. Hit it. Next over that would be 90 or 7,400, which would be up here. I'm mainly that's what I target at all-time highs. I just target whole numbers and trim along the way. Same thing with this. We're over 300. Where would I look? 310, 315, 320. I'm not like there's no targets for me other than whole numbers. So outside of that, I can't really give much here. You know, I like to hold charts, just watch the lower time frame structure and try to trail it. So it's not something that's super easy to be like, yeah, this is exactly where I would go to. 100% Vantis. Get all your followers to full port the data. Once it hits, tell them you know what you're doing, sell them a course, and then sell them a bunch of evals that they can blow on the day-to-day. You see it all the time. Is that different from SMP1? Is that the skim milk powder? Are you trying to get me to look at that same fucking chart again? Are we already back to this, Austin? It is skim milk. Yep. I hate that I now know that ticker by heart and I know exactly what it is. And you did that to me. You personally did that to me. Oh, I was gonna say, and you froze my charts. This just looks like shit, dude. I couldn't even imagine trying to trade that. And I said I would rather trade this over GameStop. I can see gold trying to make a rally here. If the 15 wants to continue to hold the open, you look for that break back up towards the highs around 730s. If someone took that trade and told me about it, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. It checks out. Bro, Jake's Instagram, they are slamming out reels from these streams on the Rake Trades Network, IG. We're putting out like 5 a day, which is crazy. Any GC trades? Paul, I just mentioned it. That's what I'd be looking at. I don't know if I'm going to stab it, but that's just because what I talked about earlier. I just don't know if I'm desperately dying because I know if it stops me out, there's a chance I just don't execute well. And I'm at that battle where, like, is it worth me taking that step? Like, is it worth the chance of me taking a larger losing day versus the potential profits? Of course, Vulture. Pretty sure YM longs on Friday can pay since DIA only have weekly expirations. AXP, I'm very interested in Friday for the Dow Jones. Very interested. What did Vulture say? Give me that trade now. Oh, all right. Yeah, Hassan, you just got to trust the PA. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? We're sized for it. We're sized to take the loss if we need to. Let's go. I like them for broader targets. The entire YM trade for me was based off of daily and weekly pivots. And a lot of my trades are. A lot of them. Actually, all of them on futures. The levels work, They work flawlessly on futures. I've just found a lot of success not using them on futures because I use the extended hours, but I use them religiously on options. Make that make sense? It doesn't, but it's how I do it. Even with this, my target was that 50, 40, 50, 50 area. Why? That was last month's high. Slammed directly in it. Look how well these respect. Slammed last month's high. Pulled back multiple times, found support, found support. Once we hit it again, last month's high. When we broke it, where'd we go? Came within 2 ticks of last week's highs. That's why I'm going to use these. They're valid. They're strong. Because it also tells me, all right, if this broke, we now have a weekly buy on YM. That breaks, I'm not full porting, but I'm going to trade YM aggressively. Hello. All right. No, I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to go up one more because I missed one, and then we're going to get back into the bullshit. You think entry at the top of the consolidation would be dope? See, I hate entering like here, and I've done it before. I kind of did it on YM yesterday, right? I'd rather wait for somewhat of a pullback. Yeah, huge GC volume just dived in. I think gold can rip if it truly wants to break, but I need this 15-minute to close strong. Us to get some type of setup on the 5 or the 2. Look for the break. Why? Because then you have an hourly like inside bar, inside bar, inside bar. If that breaks and holds above, you're looking for the recent highs. That's a pretty straightforward 20-point move. And if it wants to break that, like I said, gold can go over the next 2 days. It can rip over the next 2 days. But I'm not going to dive in right now looking for 4,900 because gold already did this today. We could consolidate easily. And that's sitting in the back of my head. Tradeify emailed me. We noticed you didn't finish setting up your KYC. No shit. You didn't let me. What time frame do you execute on? Usually the 5. But I use multi-time frame analysis, so I'm paying attention to every single time frame on the chart, all of them. If all of them align like they did on YM or gold yesterday, I'm ready to send it. And now you see the type of trade on the YM. When I talk about I'm willing to take multiple entries for the potential move, this is why. Because it's there. It just has to happen. Now, mind you, that was hours of consolidation. It didn't rip till 5 in the morning. We got in at 7 p.m. So if you happen to hold that, happen to not get stopped, congratulations. You learned how to hold for over 12 hours straight. ZLN6. So it's ZL. Is that, if it starts with a Z, it's got to be something soybeans, right? Soybean oil. So we're done with soybeans. We're trading soybean oil now. That's what we're doing. The oil of the bean, not even the bean anymore. Just, I wouldn't even call it this. I'd call this a downgrade, not an upgrade. Hold up. If you bought back here, that's a 50% move. God damn. It was a good buy. Now it's not. ZR1. What the? You guys and your fucking beans, dude. What is it with you guys and your beans? ZR. Oh, rough rice. Never mind. We already looked at rough rice. You guys got to come up with some new futures. We've looked at all these. We looked at rough rice down here. Please tell me someone actually long this shit. Because we said it didn't look bad. And my God, it actually ripped. I didn't think that, like, that was actually a solid trade. I'm not going to lie. You'd have to swing it. How the fuck do y'all find these? Dude, that's all they're looking at. That is all they're looking at. Especially when the market goes sideways, that's when chat goes its most rogue. When we're in a 5-point range on ES, just the chat, it's gone. They're in a world of their own during this session. I'm okay with it because, to be honest, you go on Jake's stream. Are you going to trade gold? Why don't you trade options anymore? You should trim. You should do this. You should do that. You guys don't give a shit about any of that. You guys just want me to trade soybeans for some reason. You guys don't care about giving me execution advice, telling me what I should and shouldn't be in. All you guys want is just me to break down a chart and trade some random bullshit futures. And I love it. Cowboy, I can't. We got copyrighted for Yankee Doodle. That song will never be on the stream again. Ever. Oh man, I walked away for a minute and missed the talk. You can't talk about it and miss it. It's not 50-50, it's 50-50. Okay. Okay. Appreciate the walkthrough, of course. Melty, I would strongly disagree with that comment. I would strongly disagree. And it's nothing against you, but saying price action is so bad this week, I would disagree wholeheartedly. What I would say is your execution is probably off this week, and this isn't targeting you, but you're likely blaming or putting the blame on the market. And in the end, the market doesn't give a shit at all. The market's going to do its thing. You just got to get more comfortable with understanding when we're likely going to range and when we're likely going to rally. Because I think price action this week has been really easy to read for the most part. Did I take stops early in the week? Yeah, but I wasn't taking A+ trades, and I said that live on stream. I looked back at my trades and said, yeah, this is probably a shit trade, and told you guys exactly. But if you're looking at this price action, like we're trending up. Your entries are likely off, or you're just not getting a good read, and that's okay. It happens. You just got to take a step back and see, all right, what should the charts actively do right now that I can trade? But I also feel like you're shorting a lot, because I think the last 2 or 3 days I've seen you shorting, and that can be brutal in this market. Fucking absolutely brutal. Y'all are typing too. You type in. It's like my steak's too juicy type thing. You guys are typing too much. I can't keep up with the damn chat. Trade silver? No. I think I would rather trade soybeans than silver. Yeah, Diego, I don't just include the indices and oil. We have gold as well. I talk about gold. That's good enough. Yeah, Victoria, where's your boy Jake at? Jake's probably vibing in Puerto Rico right now. He's probably just hanging out and chilling. But Jake's chat moves so fast. Yeah, I mean, he has 800 to 900 people in that chat. It's 3 to 4 times what we usually get. You're going to see a lot more. But also, I'm okay with not having 900 people because he gets a lot of people that bitch and complain the entire time. The entire time. Even if we get that, y'all are just trolling. I don't even think we've really had one person that I've been like, you know what? I got to ban this dude because he's being annoying. I love this chat wholeheartedly. Do I want him to grow over time? Yeah, 100%. But I also know if people step out of line, we'll just rock them. I don't care. By the time I catch up to the chats anyway, knowing you guys, you'll call them out before I can. Because y'all love beefing in chat. Y'all love it. Check out Hog's amazing short opportunity. Is that an actual stock or is it just, you got to be looking at, are you looking at LE? Are we looking at lean hogs and you just typed it wrong? No, LE's cattle. Solid short opportunity. I agree. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, JR, I can agree. Execution all-time highs is tricky. That's also why I took the YM. We had solid levels we could easily trade off of. I gave the entire breakdown yesterday of why I took that. And you don't have to trade something that's at all-time highs. If you don't want to trade the indices, ES and NQ, because they're breaking all-time highs, see if the RTY or the YM look good. If not, go to gold, go to oil. There's trades on these every single day. Are they more volatile? Yes. Just size down. Most people just use too much size, and that's why they get cooked all the time. I've done it. I've been there. For me, setting the chart levels and going over everything for the New York session feels like I'm having a cigarette. I don't know what that's like, but it's got to be a good feeling. I know what like just throwing nicotine in's like. It's a great feeling, especially when you're tired. The market's been ripping, expect it to keep ripping instead of looking at the massive reversal opportunity. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's probably going to be a massive reversal opportunity, probably. But it's not here yet. Wait till it shows up and you can make an entire year income on a short. But just this, to me, it just isn't a chart to short. Gold at the moment now isn't a chart to short. If you want to short something, look at oil. Oil's been going down like hell yesterday. Find the weak chart within the indices, within the commodities. Something's going to be bearish if you want to short. Just don't short something that's breaking new all-time highs every single day over and over and over and over. It doesn't make sense. If you're scalping, of course you can catch a short. I'm talking about like the short that a lot of people are trying to catch. Silver or soybean oil? Probably soybean oil. Just because it'd be more fun. Silver just, to me, sounds like a headache. I get bent over enough by gold. I can only imagine what silver would do. Full more cough and telling you this. I can't. No, because I got another eval last night too. Because at like 2 a.m, I put like 3YM on a new eval and it passed. So I'm trying to keep my eval or my funded accounts. Run up the likes. How many likes we got? 72. Well, that's embarrassing. I know y'all can easily get it. Now I'm not gonna overhype likes tonight because I don't have a giveaway account. I don't. If you're here for the giveaway, bad news. I ain't got one. Gave away 3 yesterday. I think 13 total yesterday. Jake gave away more today, I think. I think we're good for a day. I think we're going to be all right. Really liking gold. It is, but I would keep an eye on the top of this range. We break this, I'm interested. Will I take it? Full honesty, probably not. Can you guys take it? Yes. But if we break this, I'd be interested. This like we're at this like 710 area. What are we, 100 points over where we were yesterday? Yeah, somewhere around there. I just remember that like 10-ish area. Until gremlin hours. Big Austin, I don't know if we're hitting gremlin hours today. I'll see what time I'm on till. But I don't know if I'm gonna make it that long. I don't know. I can't do 4 hours. I can tell you that right now. Can't wait to rock the Mag 7. Yeah, AXP. It's like the Mag 7 becoming futures. For me, it's like a bittersweet thing. Because right now, I mainly have to watch 6 charts. If they look good, I'll trade them, which right now the indices don't look bad. If gold wants to start pushing, it doesn't look bad. The indices don't look bad. I'm still at the point where I don't know if I'm going to take a trade. I don't. Chart could look phenomenal. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Full honesty, full transparency. If you're here for that, oh well. I'll give analysis all day. I just know there's a chance that I don't execute well, and it's just not worth the risk. But the bittersweet part of it for me is then we're going to have people in chat. Like my chat won't be that bad. But imagine Jake's chat when there's now 50 new names that you can trade on futures. All we're going to see is what about Tesla? What about Apple? What about Amazon? What about Google? What about this? And the entire chat is going to be that. That is going to be unfortunate for him. I can tell you right now, I'm likely just going to continue to focus on the indices. 1000%. Will we occasionally flip DGen hours on and yeet a stock? Of course. Of course. We're due for one. Not tonight. Not doing it, but we're due for one at some point. ZP said two things. Oh, you said it twice. What if it never comes? You talk about the short, then I'm not shorting. We don't even have to pull back to the point where people want us to. Could it make sense for an aggressive ass pullback? Yeah. You know what could also make sense? 4 months of straight sideways. That'll kill a lot of people, especially the bears that have been wanting to. If we get a big ass consolidation where, let's say, it's a 5-point range, we're going to lose a lot of traders because a lot of people are going to still be long in every single low. People are going to be trying to short the world on it, and a lot of liquidations are going to happen because people don't know how to trade ranges that well, and they have their expectations too high. You don't, Ranji, you don't smoke cigarettes, only pouches. No, I'll never smoke a cigarette in my life. My parents smoked the entire time I was growing up. I can't stand the smell. I cannot, this is like the way I am with it. I'll never be with someone who smokes cigarettes. And if someone just smells like cigarette smoke, I don't want to stand near them. I just absolutely hate the smell. I can't do it. I can't do it. But what's dumb is I can smoke a cigar easily without a problem. Cigarettes, no, fuck yourself. Not a chance. But yeah, Trade Bob, I do the pouches because I used to dip like actual tobacco, and it's a lot better than doing that. So for me, I'll just do 3 milligram pouches. I don't care. I also limit myself a lot. Like when I run out of the pouches I have right now, I'll probably take 3-4 days off, maybe a week, whatever. See how I feel, and then if I want to, I'll get back into it. If not, I'll take a month off. I just make sure I don't get too addicted to it. It's insane how many accounts you guys give away. Yuri, it is criminal. I don't know how Jake's profitable on the year with the amount of accounts that man gives away. It is fucking insane. I listen to the stream while I work. Hell yeah. Victoria, what do you do for work? I'm not excited about it at all. No, there's going to be a part this year where we hate the market. Truly. We're going to see a lot sharper volatility to the downside at some point because there's no way we're going to continue this trend for the next 7 months. You'd be delusional to think so. Absolutely delusional. We're likely going to either get a very nasty consolidation on the monthly, like we did back here, right? Or we're going to get a more aggressive pullback where a lot of people are going to continue to try to buy every single dip because that's what's been working. And it's just, there's going to be a lot of people getting cooked. When that time comes, all I'm going to do is size down, lower expectations, and let it ride. I make my money while I'm on these streams. Hell yeah. Oh, Jake will lose his mind in the beginning when they launch those. Yeah, Eldred, that range would not surprise me at all. Thought smoking was a requirement to live in Ohio. There's a lot of people do it when they drink. A lot of people smoke when they drink, which is weird. But the Amish smoke like you've never seen before. I can tell you that. I'm back. What are we in? I'm in nothing, Omar. And rightfully so. Gold keeps rejecting the highs. Like I said, until it gets over 710, I don't even have interest. Now, what are we doing on the hourly? We spiked the prior hourly high and we're pushing back lower. If that wants to fail, we can see a gold pullback easily. Easily. I could see shorter term shorts playing out. Am I interested in it? No. I already said I don't want to short the market. Yuri, I took like a month and a half off probably 5 months ago and I loved it. So I'm probably going to do it again at some point. Hysteric Fox. It's way better than the alternative. I'll give you that one. It's way better. Do you believe in law of attraction and manifesting your dream reality? I do to an extent, 100% to an extent. I think it's more so your mindset. If people need to manifest to have that mindset, do it, right? Do what works for you. For me, I don't have to like what am I going to do? Imagine 200 acres? Yeah, it's sick. Do I want it? Cool, 100%. But I don't think it's going to do much for me cuz I don't plan on buying it anytime soon, you know? But no, I can see how it works for people. 1000%. But I think it more derives you can manifest things all you want, but what do you actually do, right? Are you all talk or do you actually walk the walk with it as well? Is the big thing. Because a lot of people manifest. They'll have Porsches as their background and then they'll just full port every futures account or every options account they have. You know, it's just, if you actually follow it, then yeah. And queuing between two gaps now, people will get cooked if this fake breaks both sides, all of Asia. Yeah. AXP, I'm sure you agree with me. I don't think today's the day where it's like, holy shit, I need to be in this trade for this move like it was yesterday. I truly don't. Yeah, now Dev, see you later, brother. Nice, Victoria. Sounds interesting for sure. Vantis, I thought about the ultra pouches, but dude, like $10 a can is crazy. I get it's more nootropics, which I have no problem with nootropics. I wouldn't hate getting out like using nootropic pouches just to get off. But the way I quit stuff is I just cold turkey it. Like when I quit actually dipping tobacco, I was driving my truck back then. I had one in, felt like shit, grabbed the 2 cans I had, threw them out the window. Yes, I littered. It was like 10 years ago. Get over it. It is what it is, you know. I just threw them out the window and I never did it again. What up, Erdo? What are we looking at tonight? We're looking at range at the moment. At the moment, range. YM's getting a little bit more traction here. I'm just, to me, it just look at these like, is this the 4-hour candle? Like if this is a 5-minute chart, and this is exactly why I want consolidation in range. If this is a 5-minute chart, is this the candle you're looking to long? Right? Is this the one that you're like, hell yeah, I need to be in? This is going to rip and go parabolic. No. That means I have almost 2 hours of letting this candle close first. After that closes, then I get some interest. And I don't even think I'll have that much interest. I want to see like 4 candles consolidate. Where does that put us? That puts us at tomorrow's Asia session. So that tells me tomorrow during the New York session, I might not trade depending on the charts. We'll see if it does, if that whole thesis is wrong, it changes, it starts to see some conviction, I'll long it. When I think of Ohio, I think of tobacco and red 40. Fuck you, Austin. Valid, but fuck you. We're not West Virginia. I probably just pissed somebody off. Hell yeah, David. I don't even know what Ray's Bike Park is. I'm not believing hard enough. Fair, ZP. Fair. Fair. I mean, it's to me, the problem is if I do that, I start getting like I'll build an expectation of, oh, I want to make $300,000 this year. And I just go back, is that reasonable with what I'm currently making day in and day out? No, that's high as fuck. But for me, I'd rather focus on like, all right, this week I just want to trade well. See where that takes me. That's my main goal. I mean, yeah, it could be more reserved. Do I have big expectations for myself? 100%. But it's not looking at like material things or even houses. It's just, I know like I'm not even near my potential in trading. And I know there's still a lot farther I can go. When I get there, then I'll start looking at like, all right, what do I want to get? Lofta, My grandparents, every time they see me, still ask when I'm going to college. Every time. This might be a decent long opportunity on the indices because that's a nice 15-minute candle, especially NQ with this little consolidation if it wants to break out. I don't know. I just have it ingrained in my head that I have lower expectations. I do. I don't know if I can get that out of my head. So I don't know if I'll be taking something. I'm sure some of you guys are long right now. Someone probably bought gold off the open. I guarantee it. Someone's probably long NQ off the open. Almost guarantee it. Nothing wrong with it. I can't get the consolidation out of my head. I'd be more irritated if I took a trade, it went right back to the lows and I got stopped. So to me, it ain't worth it. Late to stream. What up, Blambo? You missed nothing. A lot of yapping so far. Just talking to the chat. Did you go into the cold sweat? No, I just felt like shit when I quit. I placed an order for 11 GT3. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what money you think I got. But if I say 700, like I'm happy with the $700 day, I don't think that's GT3 money, my guy. I don't think it is. Vantis, that's crazy. That also brings up another thing. Like, people ask, what's your goal to be like in life at some point? Because a lot of people want cars. They want a mansion on the lake, which I would love a mansion on the lake, mansion on the water. Of course, I'd love that. I love the water, but it's just to not give a single shit about a price tag. Obviously, if you get into something like an SVJ or a Porsche, you're gonna look at the price tag is gonna hurt. I just want to be able to go wherever I want to go. If I want to go out to eat, go wherever, and just not care what the price is at all. That's what I want. I want a 4-hour doji. Yeah. I feel like that's what most people want. But then they see Instagram and see people with Paganis, Koenigsegg's, Richard Milles on their wrist. And they're like, oh, I want all that. It's like, no, you don't. You just want to be flashy. Trump's going to pull some shit overnight. Dude, AXP, imagine this situation. Imagine overnight Trump just goes, yep, ceasefire's over, and we bomb Iran. The gap down we would get that would just absolutely crush people would be insane. And I'd be sitting here washing it, grabbing a snack in the morning, just be like, all right, let's see what happens. Greasy indoor bike park. I think my buddy goes there. Do you full-time day trade or do you still work? Johnny, you are looking at my job. 2 of them. One is looking pretty for y'all on YouTube. The other is trading. Either of trading fully pays my bills. So anything with the YouTube is basically just fun money at that point. But no, I trade full-time. I could live off what I make trading. Why am I looking at shorts? I mean, maybe a little. They're valid. I could see a pullback. You look at this 4-hour chart. This is a 5-minute. You're gonna want a pullback or a broader consolidation. That's why I said I would want 4 candles of consolidation. That's 16 hours for me. So I'd just be like, all right, I'm not doing shit here. If we pull back, I think shorts can be completely valid. Am I going to be overly interested in them? No, not at all. Hysteric. That's what I would love. A bunch of acres in the woods and a lot of toys. See, I want to be at the point where if I get bored, I'm not going to go out and buy a BMW M3, which would be cool to have. I would just go buy 4-wheelers side by sides, something to fuck around on. What I would buy is like a 90s vehicle and just beat the hell out of it for fun. Go spend $1,000 just for an absolute shit box. Travel and trade is a dream. It's everybody's dream. Agreed. Eating Parmesan and watching the market dump sounds great. I'm in. I finished my Parmesan though, so I ain't got any more. But I do have a protein bar. No, AXP, there's no way. And we're back to what does this market currently remind you guys of? There should be one name from what we've traded, even in my trading years. Go back to COVID. The market's just going straight up and rallying. Now, the pullback obviously wasn't as aggressive. And we're actually rallying at a more linear scale than this. Obviously, this is going to be a lot larger of a move. Actually, it's not that crazy. We just made this rally on the NASDAQ from COVID in less time, I believe. So let's see. That took up to 25% from the lows to there. 27 bars for 25% from the COVID lows when we were the most volatile. NQ did it in 26. So we actually right now are rallying harder than we did off of the COVID lows. That's nuts. But that's what this market reminds me of. All it is just continuous buying, continuous buying, continuous buying. At some point, we will consolidate, we will pull back. Anyone who's a newer trader isn't going to have fun because they're in the market like when I first joined. All it was long the market, make money. Wake up, long the market, make money over and over and over every day. But no, I'm AXP. It sounds like fucked up, but I'm waiting for the day where everyone wakes up and just goes, holy shit, because the market dumps 4%. And we would just be sitting there like, all right, where do we go from here? Are we going to make a lower high or are we going to rip back up? And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have to come, but if that day came, it wouldn't be like, oh my God, where did this come from? Iran will never completely obey all the rules of the agreement. No, I agree. And the thing is too, if they keep delaying it, they're going to delay the inevitable. Strait's still not fully open. Oil supply is still dwindling as it is, But if we go back to war, I think that's when we're in a lot of shit. Because if oil gets into 120s, you can just Google and look up everything that can happen from that, including inflation. Gas already hit like what, $5 a gallon in Ohio? And we didn't even break new highs. How long did it take you to become a full-time trader? 2 years? I went full-time. I wasn't ready to go full-time, but I did after 2 years. I had a life situation where I had to make a decision. And I made it. I jumped, burned the bridges, and now I'm here. I thought about this today. What would hit faster, a nuke flying towards the US or the market hitting zero? Joe, the only way the market would hit zero is if the first option actually happened. Because if the first option happens, it's probably no holds barred, and we're pushing buttons and entering codes. I mean, but that's a crazy fucking question. Like, why is that what you think about? You just want D-Day. No, you just built a two-step process. If you hit step one, step two's coming. I think stream buffered for a second, but we should be good. I've only been to Sandusky. Did you go to Cedar Point? Is Yellow Springs, Ohio nice? I haven't been there. I want to be like Jake and tip Uber drivers 200%. That's the thing, She Trades Mycos, is people don't even see what Jake tips at all. When we used to go to clubs in like Miami, he would just tip individual people astronomical amounts, right? Like just numbers, right? I'd be like, holy shit. Like not, if you think astronomical in Jake's sense, you're going to think that, but like astronomical in my sense. My daily is a 2000 Z28 Camaro. Hell yeah. 9 years worth of Pennsylvania winners. Good luck. What up, Jesse? Is my stream buffering at all? Or am I just seeing it on my end? Because I'm not getting any like Wi-Fi things at all. You're good, bet. What's been your go-to prop firm right now? I have one funded on Lucid and I have 3 on Tradeify. Those are my 2 go-to. Those are my goats of prop firms. And those are the 2 that I love. Those are the main ones I trade. Jake even offered me a TPT yesterday, and I didn't take it. Or at least so far, I didn't take it. Lamelli said he wants NQ to dump 4,000 points today. First off, I know he's joking. Second off, that's because he's an ICT trader. They don't know what it's like. They're, you know what I'm getting at. No, I love Lamelli. Imagine he's in here right now and just shit talk ICT. One of my favorite things about trading is just shit talking ICT. And it's not the people it works for. It's because 60 to 70% of retail traders trade ICT now. Because that's the way to become profitable as an ICT trader is you learn ICT concepts, create a course about ICT concepts, sell the course. You're a profitable ICT trader. That's how it goes. You look at anyone who's a big ICT trader on Instagram, that's what they do. And there's probably a lot of ICT people in here like, fuck you, dude. And it's the truth. Not talking about you. Talking about them. Seek help. Yeah, Joe. What strategy got you to being a full-time trader? No joke, the mastermind. Just understanding basic price action and multi-time frame analysis in general. If the alien invasion takes place, market will also hit zero. Actually, Voltru, I disagree. Because what's the number one thing we're going to invest in if there's like any type of bigger scale war like that just happened? Military industrial. That's what the US thrives on. We'll be dumping money into those companies. The YM will probably explode. I'm conflicted on my straight to funded. Some days I have huge days where I take profit, but I stop myself because of consistency. Should I ignore consistency and just stack the account? I'm just going to call you Shaq. Hope you're okay with that. There's times, like if I'm looking to get a payout, like if I just want I don't know, I wouldn't even call it gratification, but you guys know what I mean, of getting a payout, then I'm going to be focusing more on the consistency rule. But a good example is I took YM yesterday on 50K growth accounts, which have a 35% consistency. I made $1,900 per account. I fucked my consistency. But I even said I was going to before I got in the trade yesterday or while we were in the trade. Because with these accounts, I'm just looking to compound. I'm looking to just grow it. I love building a big buffer if the opportunity is there while the accounts are early. Ollie, is it not working? If we start talking about it, I'll drop the link. I don't know what they did with this update. Do you have Lucid Live? I don't. Johnny, I have, transparency, I always am. My funded accounts, I've gotten, the most payouts I've gotten from one account, I think is 3, but I haven't made it live. I've yeeted the accounts one way or another before I got there. So you make all your money on futures with 4 funded accounts? No, Sergio, I trade options a lot intraday. I do well on prop firms, 100%, but I make a lot on options too. Jesse, we just started this 3 weeks ago. If you want to start live streaming, you can try it. I can tell you it's not about the live streaming. It's about growing the audience that actually supports you. You can live stream to 500 people. If they don't support you, you're not making anything. You can live stream to 100 people. If all 100 support you, you can do really well. And that's how live streaming works. And the main thing, I'm pretty sure, knowing Jake, anything we've been making off the live stream, he's basically just giving away in accounts. How much is the mastermind? Mastermind is $99 a month for the entire course, entire access. You get the entire mastermind course, which is what myself, all the other streamers, as well as a lot of the chat have learned from. You get the Discord community where a bunch of us post trades. There's like 7 people that post trades. You also get the levels indicator, obviously access to the Discord, the psychology bot, and the up to 500 something trade reviews and bonus lessons. If you want it, here's the link. Just going to do one cheeky plug on it. What you're going to do is use code STREAM at checkout, STREAM. It'll get you 50% off. It's $100 a month. You could be in the Discord for 50 months and pay the price of what other people charge. Paul, you have to use the link and code STREAM and it gets you 99. It is 200 at some point. Jake will stop doing the discount. I know Jake, he will. It just doesn't make sense I don't think it makes sense to give it away for 100, but he wants you guys to learn. What do you think about that virus? What virus? People are freaking about. I haven't heard of that virus at all. I know nothing about it. I didn't even know there was a virus going around. What up, Futures King? How you doing? Yo, two Johnny. There's probably more Johnnies in here too. Joe, I got bad news. That's me typing on the account. It's not Jake. But I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy it. Jake will leave like the actual comments. If it's links or something like that, it's likely me. Yeah, I know Alan uses his actual stream account, like his actual YouTube to type. I just use Jake's. I don't want a bunch of things open. The one all them people on the ship has. I have no clue. I haven't heard about it at all, even once. No, I'm not doing a giveaway today. We gave away like 13 to 15 TPT accounts yesterday. I have no clue how much those cost, but I believe they're like 150, 200 bucks. I think we can take a day off. I think we're okay. I think y'all are going to be all right. So anyways, Jake, how are you? Doing great, Joe. Doing great. One thing that I actually love is when people jump on my stream and think I'm Jake, like actively looking at the stream at the webcam and talk to me like I'm Jake. It's like, dude, you should know what Jake looks like. Anyway, the market blows. Market does blow. But what were our expectations? Our expectations were the market's going to suck. Has it sucked so far? Yes. So I'm happy with it. Analysis is on point. If the market's boring, as long as we're not trying to yeet accounts, I'm cool with the market being boring. We're going to get boring days. You look very alike. I don't think so. Vish, I don't think so at all. Not even a little bit. We have brown hair. That's about it. Do you find your strat works sometimes and other months not so much? How do you deal with that? And honestly, I think my strat so far has worked in any market I've traded. I know, Vish, just because it's about expectations within the market. You got to know when to execute based off of what all the timeframes are giving you. Right now, all the timeframes told me at the beginning of stream, today's not the day to try to be a rock star, not the day to be a hero. And it's proven it an hour and 30 minutes in. We quite literally have not moved since stream opened. The ES made an absolutely insane rally of 6 points, and now we're right back in the move. We're sub 10-point range right now. Expectations were there, so we don't trade it. Do you trade ICT? No. I will say, the more I watch Christian streams, and I want to hear you guys' feedback because I think I'm right. I feel like ICT trading is just being a pullback trader, but you make it more complicated. Tell me if that makes sense or not. Because in my brain, I feel like it does. Mickey, do you trade ICT? And you got to remember, I don't know ICT, but just watching how Christian trades, it looks like a lot of it is you're waiting for like retests of fair value gaps. You're not looking to buy the breakouts. So when I see that, it looks like you're more of a pullback trader waiting for that pullback to get your entry. As an ICT trader, you're absolutely correct. Yeah. So I feel like it's true. There's probably other concepts that I have no fucking clue about. The main thing that I just see Christian talk about is like the FVGs and IFVGs and a lot of other words that I have no clue what they mean. But just for the majority of what I see him, ICT does work. I started at 50K and now I'm at $5. Hell yeah, Inc. Sell me your course. I'll give you $5 for it so you can double your account. AJ, do you trade IQ anymore? No. Yeah, no, Mickey, I'm not saying it doesn't work at all. I straight like if you've been on streams, you know, everyone in chat knows. I say if so, I believe there's good ICT traders. I believe the original founder, the ICT guy himself, is delusional. I feel like most people agree with that. He's fucking crazy. But I think the concepts can work because in the end, you're trading price action and you're trading structure with the concepts that you have. It's going to get a lot of flack and people saying it's not work because what, like I said earlier, 60 to 70% of retail traders nowadays are trading ICT. Of course, you're going to see the most failures in that. 95% of people fail. 95% of people fail and majority trade ICT. You're going to see ICT fail more than it works. But no, I think ICT 100% can work. I just, from what I see on Christian's stream, it seems like it's pullback trading, but a little more complicated. And it's probably just certain terms and aspects of it. Because I haven't seen like an ICT where you're trading like breakouts or consolidations for the most part. But I've only seen like the fair value gap aspect. Oh yeah, Mickey, most people don't. Most people don't even know how to read a candle, but they think they do. They don't know how to read price action. They think they do. That's the problem. Yeah, I think any strategy in trading can work. You can make up a random strategy in trading and it can work. It's all based on your risk to reward and your overall psychology. Stock market J, that's because I used to shit talk ICT a lot. And it's because of concepts like turtle soup. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What in the hell are we talking about? Turtle soup. It's just a lot of the concepts have the wildest names to me. Like, and when I see that, I'm just like, all right, what's going on? My strategy is buy low, sell lower. Hell yeah, Austin. Is that break for you in ES? No. What we are going to do, ES gets out of this. In all honesty, ES gets out of this. You can look to trade it. Inside of that, I ain't touching shit. I talk shit and I use them always. Always. If I see someone trading something that clearly doesn't work, I will 100% talk shit. But it's because they shouldn't be trading it if it doesn't work. But no, I feel like ICT is just the easiest to talk shit about because it also has the most like furus in the market. Theo, I don't know how much they pay attention to gaps, but I could see that. Who the hell needs an online casino? You have the 15-second chart. How many trades do you take per day average? In the past 24 hours, I took 3. Because technically, well, it depends what you count trades. Because I had the entry here on the YM. I added on an eval here, past the eval, obviously, so we have the funded. So I count that as 1. I took on that eval though, it stopped me $22 short, and that was, dude, try making $22 on an account on less than 4 hours of sleep. You stress. I traded 1 micro on the YM. I'm like, dear God, please let this fill. Don't make me lose like 100. But I took a small little scalp there while I was in an options trade, but I took that and I took the options trade. So technically two, if you want to count the $22 trade, three. If I'm not in a big trade like that where I'm just letting it go and have a good day, I have no problem trading, but it's usually going to be up to 2 trades per session that I think there's decent price action in. Because I look at every single session differently. I don't look at it as like a whole day. But what I'll do is if I trade Asia session and let's say I lose 2 trades, I won't touch that account until the next day at all. I'll just go to another account and I'll trade that account. Or I'll trade options during the New York session. So it's all rhetorical, honestly. I feel like all the new traders get taught ICT. Stock market jades, because that's where all the hype is. If you look at any influencer who is between the ages of 19 and 25, they're likely teaching ICT. They likely have a course on ICT. They're likely pushing ICT concepts. That's what you see. What do they have? They likely have a Porsche. They likely have a BMW, a Lamborghini, something along that. That's what people are going to dive into. For some fucking reason, they want to listen to the people who are 20 years old and give them $3,000 to learn how to trade. That dude's only been able to trade for 2 years. I guarantee you, he probably didn't make Porsche money in 2 years, you know? Throw enough terms and words that people think, yeah. Plus, if you think about trading strategy and just the way we trade, for those of you that took the mastermind and somewhat know a little bit about ICT, what sounds like like you're talking more about it to someone who doesn't know anything? The person who's just talking about higher lows, lower highs, multi-time frame analysis, really making it sound basic, or the guy who's blasting terms like the SMT divergences, fair value gap up to the whatever at the high of day, and you have all of these concepts. You're going to think that guy knows more because of all the concepts. That's just how it works. Because it sounds like they know more in depth about the market with all the terms they're using. When in reality, it's just a lot of setups and structural things with different terms. Yeah, dude, you start telling someone turtle soup, they're going to be like, dude, what's turtle soup? I got to know, how do you trade turtle soup? I know this, I mentally decompose after 3 trades. That's it. Yep. Mickey, one of my favorite ICT videos is when he was trading a prop firm eval live on YouTube. Because I think the iMan trading guy made a video on it. He was trading a prop firm eval live on YouTube with his whole stream. And he got stopped out like 3 times. So what did he do? He said the market makers were hunting his stops because he's streaming live and showing his stops. First off, buddy, your orders don't exist if you're on a prop firm. Funded, eval, whatever. You're paper trading. Those are never you think a market maker cares about someone live trading on YouTube, sniping them and trying to wick their stop loss to fuck with them? I feel like hedge firms have a lot more to worry about than sniping the ICT trader stop loss. That's just delusional in the end, wholeheartedly. Yeah, but you say stuff like that and you talk about the market makers in that sense, people are going to believe you. They're going to think you know what you're doing. No one cares about stop loss. They care about liquidity. This entire stream, all 190 people and me, could full port as many funded accounts as we want. Not a single order will show up in the market because it's paper trading. Even if we had liquid cash and we all entered, unless we had cumulatively like $50 million, they wouldn't give a shit about that order. Not a single shit. And even if they saw 50 million, they'd be like, someone's trying to buy. Yeah, there's the capital difference between a mass majority of retail traders and one hedge fund is exponential. And most people, for some reason, just don't grasp that concept. See you later, Wop. Have a good one, brother. Big Austin, that's exactly how I like to do it, though. I want everything to be as simplistic as humanly possible in trading. By Sean, I think for the second year in a row, the Browns won the draft. Wholeheartedly. I don't know if we did as well as last year, but I think we got exactly what we needed out of the draft. We got a wide receiver, which we desperately needed, and we got a tackle. We need an offensive line like you've never seen before. Because last year we got the weapons. This year we kind of got the security a little bit. Yeah, no, KHY, there's a video of him actively saying they were hunting his prop firm stop account. Yeah. You finally understood how and why price moves. That's the thing. If ICT helped you understand trading, not the guy, the concept, right? The guy's fucking dumb. But if the concept helped you, beautiful. If trading the orb helped you understand price action and structure a little bit, beautiful. Cool. Love it. If it works for you, trade the orb. If EMAs work for you, trade the orb. God forbid if the MACD and RSI work for you, trade them. I don't care. As long as you understand basic price action, I do not care what you trade. Yeah, right, Mitch. They're concerned with their $1 billion hedge just to stop your eval account. They're going to risk $100 million to make sure you get liquidated. How many contracts would you actually need to move the market? All right, this is a good way. Mitch, if you're still on, what is a gamma amount that if you look at, you go, holy shit? Because I feel like most people don't understand how large the market is. Like, for instance, if you want, let's go NVIDIA. If you want a 1% move on NVIDIA, that's at least $10 million invested into it for 1%. Or 50 million, sorry. 50? Yeah, 50 for 1%. If it makes a 10% move, that's 500 million. That's just NVIDIA. Not counting the like what, $35 trillion market cap in the market, whatever it is. Yeah, Bashan agreed. Wait, are you guys, was it you guys who got Cardell Tate? If so, I'm jealous. I'm jealous as hell. I love Cardell Tate. But no, Bashan, you should have been here yesterday. We talked football for like half an hour because I streamed for 4 hours straight. But no, Alex, you would, to actually move the market, you would need billions of dollars. And not just like 10 billion. You would need billions. Ever dream? I might. But to be honest, I don't expect to win. I don't. Especially with the way I trade, because I trade slower. I saw things where you have to take, once you get in the top 1,000, you have to take like 3 trades a day, no matter what. I think that's a little crazy. But here's the thing, too. I don't trade NQ a lot. And this is my full, bro, is anti-manifesting. Not really big, Austin. It's more just realization. What the main asset I trade is ES. It's not insanely volatile. What is the main asset that the 100,000 people that join that cup are going to trade? NQ. Every trade, if I catch the exact same trade someone took on NQ on ES, I will immediately be down like 50% on returns. So I would have to catch double the move of every other person trading ES if they trade NQ. It's just being, like ZP said, being a realist. Would I fucking love to win it? Yeah. What did I do with the last Tradeify Cup? I yeeted that shit into the sun. I did not care. It's a free account. I treat it like it. 100%. Big Austin, could you imagine? Because at the end, I'm pretty sure when it's, because they post your main traded thing. Imagine seeing the winner of the Tradeify Grand Cup. All he traded was soybean, wheat, butter, and rough rice. That'd be sick. Yeah, ZP, it's not an actual funded account. It's for the overall thing. It's a free eval that's in the cup. So like you can't pass it and get a funded account. But you have to come in the top 1,000 to even get to the stage. And then when you get there, There are bounties they announced. There's going to be 24 traders that, because after that, you go head to head against people. And one that they just announced was like Rip's trade. So imagine getting the top 1,000, like you place 1,000th. The first person you fight is Rip Trades, and you have to beat him or else you're out. You're probably cooked. Cooked. I was in the top. Hell yeah. What'd you place, Mickey? Yeah, there's 24 traders. I'm excited to see who they all are. Also, could expose some people, you know? Someone's like, oh my God, this guy's elite. And then little Jimmy from Idaho takes him out of the takes him out of the contest. Got some questions. Now Brown just need QB, O-line. Big Austin, we've been working on our O-line the entire offseason. And we got O-line 9th in the draft. Tight end, we do not need a tight end. We have Harold Fannin. So that's crazy. Wide receivers, I can agree there. We have a lot of mid-tier wide receivers. We don't have like a wide receiver 1 and 2. We have Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Judy's washed for the most part. I'm going to say it. People are going to hate me for it. Jerry Jeudy has not performed in like 2 years. QB, I agree. We don't have the QB experience at all. Unless Deshaun Watson comes back as the Texans' Deshaun Watson, he's not going to do shit. I'm sorry, Shadur Sanders isn't going to be as elite as people think he is. Can I think he can be a decent quarterback? Yeah. But is he going to take us to the playoffs? No. Our DB's defense, we need a defensive line. I know you're trolling now. I know you are 100% trolling. We have one of the best D lines we have one of the best defenses in the entire NFL. I know this entire second half of that is trolling. Yes, looks cute right now. It could be cute, Joe. If it wants to finally break like 85, it could be cute. YM is making some nice moves, if anyone took YM. The Grand Cup's going to be won by scalpers? Probably. Sean, it's either going to, or by Sean, it's either going to be won by scalpers or someone's going to catch a move on NQ like they did today. The thing is, though, what's interesting is they're limiting it to one contract trades in the beginning. So with that, you basically have to scalp because you can't trim. You can't, I mean, you can take 10 micros, then you're automatically down already off contract fees, which $20 isn't going to kill you, but. Yeah, 3 times minimum. Like the way I trade, if I caught this on YM on the Tradeify Grand Cup, that wouldn't be enough. I would have to catch 2 more trades on top of this for that day to even count. I don't like that. Do I think there's a lot of people who can do well in it? Yeah. For my trading strategy and trading style, no, probably not. ZP rip streams a lot. So yeah, if that's what you're talking about. Ali, I don't know that. I can't confirm or deny that. I honestly don't know. If I'm not in the top 24, this cup is invalid. Valid. I'll take it. I'll trade it 100%. I'll mess around with it. I don't know how serious I'll take it. Being fully transparent, we'll see. But I'll trade it. Top 15. Mickey, did you place top 15? Because you should have got at least some cash for that, right? Because I know the winner gets 200K. If anyone's in the storm across the US, beware and be safe. Is that why it's going to rain here the next like 6 days? Okay, so it's not going to rain tomorrow, but we have Friday, Saturday, Sunday rain, Monday no rain, Tuesday, Wednesday rain, Thursday no rain, Friday more rain. Yeah, we're cooked. What up, Christian? How you doing? Colorado just got a foot of snow. Colorado's got to figure it out. It is May. Big Austin, I can't disagree with the Deshaun Watson comment. I can't. We all know it. For some reason, he's still there. Yeah, Eric, you could do that. You just got to catch a hell of a mini trade on it. But I think a lot of people are going to be focusing on scalping and just catching moves like that. just because of the structure in the beginning. 80s in Cali? Yeah, I'm fucking jealous. Mickey, no, I live near Cleveland. I'm a Browns fan, unfortunately. But what that means is I'm loyal. Loyal to the core. It snowed all day. Joe, it sounds like you live in Ohio. All right, Big Austin, calm down. Valid. Well, no, not to that extent. The second part, third part, no. Paul, are you trying to say that you need to make 10K in a couple weeks and you're going to try to trade prop firms to do it? Because if so, you're probably going to lose most accounts. When you focus on the money, you're likely going to lose it. I'm just, the way you worded it, random question for fun. That's like my buddy has a question for you. Sure. Your buddy's got the question. Of course. No, I mean, if I'm I wouldn't even say trying, but if my goal is to make 10K, I'd be trading multiple like Tradeify or Lucid accounts and just working up towards max payout. I wouldn't trade them aggressively, but if you're chasing 10K, find a way in life to make some money. Because if you chase 10K, you're likely going to lose it. At least that's how I was with trading. Ron, you think of moving out of Ohio? I've thought about it, Jay. I just don't know where I'd go. I don't mind Ohio. Does part of it suck? Yeah. But I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind the seasons. Does winter being 6 months suck ass? Yeah. I would love eventually to have like a second house somewhere warm. Dream. Come to Colorado. I don't know if you realize it, but it is cold in Colorado, just like Ohio. It snowed there and it is May. No. I would love the mountains though. I would. Are we trading the NASDAQistan? The NASDAQ's the weakest index right now. Stock market, Jay, the last place in the world I'm going to move is New York. Or LA. Is LA weather great? Yes. I don't think you realize if I move to either of those, if I move to New York with what I could get a studio apartment for $4,000, or I could get 60 acres and a 4,000 square foot house for that out here. Hell no. LA would be, I mean, the weather's good. I don't like California. California is like a shithole overall. If both of the governments and laws change, probably. I just think all the rules are dumb as hell. We talked about yesterday. Apparently, it's illegal to catch rainwater in California. What do you mean I can't catch rainwater in California? Fuck yourself. LA is over. LA is nice for the weather. It's nice for the weather. New York is interesting. But y'all know the area I live in. I'm not someone who wants to be stacked up in a skyscraper. I'm good. I want to be able to look outside and have see grass. I want to be able to go do something in my yard or go to a park respectfully that doesn't have 40 homeless people in it. No, Poison, I'm not going to New York. Way too expensive. Same with LA. Christian, it's nuts. It's absolutely insane the amount of people that live in New York and what they pay. You see an apartment that hasn't been renovated in 30 years and it's $3,000. No, not at all. And it's $3,000 for your bed to be in the middle of your kitchen. I'm good. My office is bigger than a studio apartment in New York. No, not a shot. Because if I'm streaming and have a PC setup, I would at least need a 2-bed. That's what, $5-6 grand a month? Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, trading inspo. I couldn't imagine being that in California. There's too many laws and stuff. And also with California, I don't want to live somewhere where if someone just decides to move in, like let's say I have 2 houses in California and I'm only living in one right now. If someone tries to just go live in it for 6 months, they get to keep the house. Huh? The fuck do you mean? You get to just keep the house. Now, when I was in San Diego, they were talking about some party they were going to after I was leaving. And they told me that it was a mansion that people got because of that rule. Like they didn't even buy the mansion. They did the squatters' rights shit and acquired the mansion from the people. Imagine losing a multi-million-dollar mansion because someone just didn't pay rent for 6 months and then said, you know what? It's mine now. What an investment. What a fucking investment. Sounds like you need to check. I wouldn't mind Florida. I have a buddy that just moved to Florida not too long ago. Texas, Kev, I'd be interested 100%. I'd have to get used to the heat, but I'd love Texas. Obviously, I don't want to live in the middle of the desert. Upstate New York's amazing, but still same taxes. Yeah, if I want to live upstate New York, just go northeast or Pennsylvania. You're gonna have the same mountains. Or go southeast Ohio. You're gonna have the mountains as well. It'll be a little warmer too. Give me my cost per square foot, basement and yard, proximity to nature. Loved LA as a single dude, but not anymore. Yeah, Mitch, I like as a single person, I'm sure they're phenomenal. And yeah, I'm single. You could easily find people. Easily. But I couldn't imagine like living there my whole life. You can get a 2-bedroom condo on the beach where I live for $3K. That's not bad, Connor. That's not bad at all. Because you live in Florida, right? I would assume. Studio is $4,500 on Long Island near her parents. No. Rather live in San Diego. San Diego is interesting because it's like a college town that's not a college town for the most part. I'm from SoCal. Yeah, everyone who's from California loves California because they grew up there. They love the weather. There's no reason to leave California if you make good money, right? But if you don't make good money, like if in New York, I would have to make $200,000 to live. Fuck that. If I make $200,000 in Ohio, I'm rich. I am rich as hell. We play Cleveland again this year. I'll go if it's early season. It was cold as fuck. Bye, Sean. Yeah, I mean, welcome to the AFC North, brother. We love cold games, except for now we're building a dome because we want a Super Bowl, which is dumb. But we'll steamroll you. Don't worry. We'll make it quick. Same thing with life, Austin. I know what I want. I'm picky. Probably too picky, but I'm picky. Can you look at NQ is 27559 a level? I'll do it over here, Robert, just so I don't, leak all the sauce. RTH. Go to NQ. You say 27559? Why are you looking all the way down there? Where are you looking? 595, not 559 on the right on the hours we use. I don't see that one personally. You can always just throw the bot in too. Bro, ICT is so popular. I wouldn't say it's popular. A lot of people trade the concepts. To me, I'm just shit talking it and the guy. I feel like ICT was just the original Furu. Yeah, Joe, I do spend a lot of time on charts. Plus, if you think about it, I stream 7 to like 10 to 11 p.m. That's when most people want to hang out. Unfortunate. The market value for my apartment is $7K a month. Fuck that and fuck you. No. Yeah, ZP, they definitely pay more in Southern California for regular jobs, but that's because the cost of living is 5x. Like Ohio's one of the cheapest places to live. So you don't want a Super Bowl, Connor? There's a difference. I wouldn't mind a Super Bowl. I don't want a dome because there's nothing better than going to the games. Yes, you're freezing your ass off in the winter. But like the Browns Steelers game 2 years ago, I was at that game and it was a complete whiteout blizzard the entire drive there, the entire game, and it was sick. Mitch, I mean, it makes sense. But Polar Bear, imagine if I actually had cattle and soybeans and I could just trade them based on the market. I would stockpile them for a while. See you later, SpongeBob. If it's an older level, Robert, maybe, but you know what to look for, brother. See you later, Sergio. I'll probably hop off soon because I mean the market's not doing anything. NQ, if you're looking to short, NQ would be what I'm looking at. People probably hate me saying that. Slammed off the open. Every other index was above the open. If ES loses its open and back towards the low day, NQ is going to go. NQ is the weak index right now. If I want to short, that's what I'm shorting. Ohio doesn't get hurricanes. We usually don't get tornadoes, but we already got 2 this year that took out my power twice. One of them, they've been like 30-second tornadoes near us. My parents' house, though, got destroyed by a hailstorm. Of course, Joe. Especially when we do the next meetup. I love them. How much do you pay out there in Ohio for like a house, Jay? Because, for instance, my brother and my parents both have like a 3,000 square foot house on 5 acres or so, 5 to 7 acres, and it's like 2,300 a month. So literally less than a New York studio. An apartment when me and my brother had an apartment and we were 5 minutes from the beach and the lake, it was 1,800, 1,850 for like 1,400 square foot. And it was more of a condo than an apartment. So a high end one, maybe 2,500 for a 2-bed, like 1,500 square foot. Yeah, like we had more room than we knew what to do with for the most part. And that's why I could go full time. My rent at that apartment was $840 a month. Victoria, my parents' house was both air conditioning units were because we have a shop for the concessions, obviously. All the siding was, the roof was, and one of the trucks was. So they got a huge insurance problem right now. Jay, with what people pay, so like someone said their apartment was $7,000, quoted. You do $7,000 here, you could probably get 60 plus acres for 5,000 square foot house easily. That's why I said if you make good money in Ohio, you live like a king. Now you can't drive your fancy car 6 months out of the year, but you still get 6 months to enjoy it. Hard hat, where I live is my brother's. He bought the house. I just rent. Is there anything fun to do there? Well, it depends what you think of fun. If you want to, you can live more near a city. In Ohio, too, a lot of people don't live in the cities, they live on the suburbs. Like Cleveland itself isn't rich. But if you go around the suburbs, that's where all of the wealth sits. Like you'll find 4, 5, 6, $700,000 houses, multi-million-dollar houses outside of it. Why Myles Garrett not going anywhere? Because Myles Garrett said that he cared more about his accolades and career more than anything. We offered him a couple $1,000,000 more. And he said, you know what? All right, I'll do it. After saying he doesn't want money. Who wants to live in friggin' Ohio? I do. And I want you to stay out of it if you got that attitude. Jeff, I'm in the boonies. Yes. So is there a town center with bars and shit? Yeah. No, it's not desolate. Like if I want to go to bars, it's 10 minutes. Actually, there's a closer one that's not too badly popular, but they're not like New York clubs. If you want to go to clubs, you got to go to Cleveland. You're not going to find like clubs where I live, but you'll find bars all over the place. Futures trader. Think of the question you're kind of asking there, brother. You want to know my parents' salary and my brother's salary. Why would I tell you that? Why would I even remotely? That's not my information to give out. Why the fuck would that matter? They could make it, they don't, but they can make 60 grand a year and afford that. Like it, where did that question make any, it makes zero impact. It's like, how many contracts do I have in a trade? It doesn't matter. It's the quality of the trade and the potential of it. Yeah, somewhere between 1 and a billion. Maybe he wants to start a confectionery business. You mean a concession business? I don't know what the fuck confectionery is, but I don't think that's what they run. JRA, sorry, there's 5 cats between the 2 houses, which is insane. But it like there's a lot of names. Y'all know Bella, and that's the main one. Yeah, while you're at it though, yeah, if you want my first pet's name, and then I can give you the address and the last 4 of my social. It should be good information I can give out, and I guarantee you nothing bad will happen. I mean, you guys already know when my birthday is, so because I mentioned it 2 streams ago. Bro, I'm almost 40. Oof. Give me a fucking seat and a bartender. Jeff, I got the bars for you, brother. I got the bars for you. And they drink heavy out here. I need your checking and routing. Which one? The business account or the personal account? Because to be fair, personal account, I'm cash broke. I have most of my shit invested. Your birthday's 420. Wrong. Can we have the 3 funny little numbers on the back of my card? I feel like I'm getting a spam call right now. Oh, that's Jake Holly? Oh, what up, brother? I knew your picture looks familiar. Start with the business. Childhood best friend. Yep. You guys both asked that. You guys know the questions. All right. Jake Holly, I'm northeastern, like northeast central, if that makes sense. I'm not like east, but I'm not central. I'm like in the middle, kind of. Futures, are you saying who cares to me not wanting to give out my family's financial information? Because if so, what? Even if you ask me what I make, I'm going to tell you why the fuck does it matter? Like, right? Got it. Probably 12-hour drive from Philly. Uh, should be, because I think it was, no, I think it was 12 from me to, where did I drive to? There was it's like a little island in Maryland, Ocean City. I think it was like 12, 13 hours for that drive. So probably 8 to you. Please send me your Google authentication name and password. I can do that. I just won't click the little number on it and you'll be good. Can't get in. Sorry, it's 2FA. Mitch, I would love a custom license plate. Just, I wouldn't even put wrong on it. I would just put like oil. GC heating up. It's breaking. Like I said, if it gets over 710s, I think it can go towards those highs at 30s. We're getting a little 9 o'clock move versus the 8 o'clock move. I like it. If it wants to continue, you have 47 minutes for this 4 hour to close bullish. If it closes bullish, this chart can easily continue to rally. I mean, we're talking gold here. If gold wants to rip, you can go 800s, 900s without hesitation. Future, joke's on you. I'm a cat uncle, bitch. My brother owns cats. My parents owns cat. I don't even own a plant. So I don't own shit. Nice try though. By Sean, far and few between, unfortunately. Far and few between. GC knocked me out and took off. Yep. Tell me one good thing about Ohio. First off, I'm watching my internet because my broker's flashing like crazy. I don't know why. I think we're good though. Worst case stream ends, you know? Good thing about Ohio. I mean, most people think it sucks, which is great. Yeah, Sean, big pain, huge pain. I mean, we just have a lot of parks, like a lot of outdoor shit to do. A lot of parks. If you go down south, there's beautiful places. Like people go on vacation in Southern Ohio, which is crazy. But there's a lot of really nice places to go to. A lot of cabins in the woods, shit like that. A lot of lakes. You got a little network blip at your back. Yeah, it's been storming. So it makes sense. That's probably where I live. We get big storms. Wi-Fi is probably going to go out. That's why I have 2 Wi-Fis. Lost 15 viewers on that little blip. But no, you know, in Cleveland, we got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's kind of cool. We got the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That's also kind of cool. Yeah, Hocking Hills is what I was thinking about. I just couldn't think of the name of it. Where I used to live, there was like a little canyon and a quarry. And it's like probably 20 minutes from me. And it's sick to go to. You can jump off like 30-foot cliffs into the water. This guy's rich, 2 Wi-Fi. See, Joe, I only pay for one. My brother pays for the other. It's only $70 a month each. No more weird, intrusive questions. Yeah, Mitch, so far, the same person has asked me my family's financial information, said, who cares? And then said, I'm a cat owner. That says a lot. The fuck? Dude, I love cliff diving. I'm an adrenaline junkie at heart. Like when I went skydiving, in the beginning, they were like a lot of people when they first jump, they look down, they get scared. I have a video of it. The first thing I did was smile ear to ear and then jump right out. Like almost before the guy even wanted us to. Cliff diving to me means Casa Bonita. I got engaged in Hocking Hills. Hell yeah. See, y'all say Ohio sucks. That man's having an engagement here. Suck on that. But no, I want to go skydiving again this year. And it's funny because most people would probably see where we go skydiving and tweak out. Because I'm not joking. The main building is someone's old house that they turned into a business. And the entire landing strip is a field. And it's some rinky airplane that you're like, all right, is this going to go up? Gold popping still? Hell yeah. Anyone catch it? I also respect the hell out of you guys. The entire stream, I've said I'm probably not taking a trade, and y'all are still vibing. I'm in. Hell yeah. I was an adrenaline junkie until I wrecked my motorcycle. Kyle, that's why I used to really want a motorcycle, but I don't think it would be smart. I've gone 120 miles an hour on a snowmobile. I don't think me on a motorcycle would be good. I don't. Huh? For what? What part? Yeah, I have. Me and Kev up in Michigan when you were in the military. Oh, yeah. For a good example, my brother has a motorcycle and he's gone like 170 down the highway. We're the same. That's why I don't get a motorcycle. Because I know it would do it. Kyle, that's the thing. Yeah, you can be dangerous on a motorcycle. And that's why, like, my brother had that happen as well. Someone almost hit him while he was just casually riding. And it's not you, it's the people that are on their phone not paying attention. And something that'll wake a lot of people up, especially if you're in a motorcycle, is as you're driving down the road, just look at every other car you pass. I guarantee you 85% are sitting there like this, driving down the road. The tortoise. Hey, there's a lot I'm interested in, Jay. There's a lot I'm interested in. I'm watching while cooking. Hell yeah. Dinner's ready. See you later, Eldred. Also up 160 on MP option this week. Fuck yeah, Austin. Sorry I ended late. You in any trades? No, Cordino. Since the beginning of the stream, I've said I'm likely not trading. I streamed longer yesterday than I slept. I just don't think I would execute well. Also, my whole expectation was us staying in this range. We have not left it, so I don't have much interest. If we break it, I can see expectations. Gold broke 710s. Would have been a really nice trade. Not something I probably would have got in on because it just slammed off the lows and then ripped. Oh, that's what someone wrote? Oh, because he was cooking. Hysteric. I mean, if you think about it, it would hurt a lot less to fall off in the snow. I also did 125 in my Jeep Grand Cherokee. I don't need a motorcycle at all, ever. Someone said JC kelp. Most of the time it is other drivers. Yeah, see, people always do it. Wait, what's a weird flex? Oh, the Grand Cherokee. I also drag raced it through a cornfield. I've done 200 plus. No. No, fuck that, dude. I mean, at that point, you're just accepting it. If you crash, it's over. Like, there's no getting out of that at all, no matter what you're wearing. Does gold have room higher? If in the next 40 minutes it continues to hold, 1,000%. I still think gold can go to 48 and 4,900 without a question. Will there be resistance along the way? Of course, but I think it can easily go there. Go 125 in Grand Cherokee. Did it explode? Not too long after. It didn't explode. The lifters went bad. I got the lifters replaced. I guess they were warranted for 12 months. I put 5,000 miles on it in 1 year. The lifters went bad again, 12 months and 5 days later. So I sold it.
Okay, what you do? You got the lifters, the head, and the cam replaced.
No, just the lifters.
That's not what the thing said.
No, that's what I paid for. Gold Weekly looks primed. It does. Same with YM. I'd be interested. One thing I would be interested tomorrow is if the YM and the RTY wanted to see more buying pressure, because they're still playing that overall game of catch up compared to ES and NQ, especially the YM. It's not even near all time highs yet. Big Austin, welcome to my life. All the time. All the time. No, he doesn't. No, he's big into like cards, like Pokemon cards, stuff like that. He trades that a lot. Any advice what broker to use? Eric, I like Tradeovate with futures. And if you need a video on how to use it, DM me on Instagram, Discord, asking for it, and I'll send you the link. XP, that's the thing. When you know retail is still trying to catch the top, we have more room to go. Easily. Everyone wants to try to time the top every single day, and they just keep getting liquidated day in and day out. Pay attention to how gold reacts to this 720s area, because that's been the big pivot we've watched for weeks now. If we can't get over it, I'd expect lower, or at least range. Agreed, Vantus. Agreed. You got lucky, you had the experience. That's about it. Yeah, Zay. I mean, I think if the market's going to rip, I'd be more interested in RTY and YM than ES and NQ. But I think I'm going to wrap up in a few minutes here. I appreciate all y'all still being on. I don't even know how many likes we're at. We're not doing a giveaway, so it doesn't matter too much. 129, not terrible, especially for me not pushing it. Yeah, of course, Eric. Feel free to DM me. I'll shoot you that link. I would get it now, but it would take me a little bit because it's like archived on my YouTube. But I really don't see much that I like. So I think I might wrap up. Victoria, 100% agree. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. Got a little over about like 2.5 hours. I'm cool with it. For now, though, the indices don't interest me. YM and RTY might interest me a little bit. Tonight, I probably just won't trade till tomorrow. You think we keep running? I do. I do. AXP, I see it. What I would kind of want to see is, like I said, I'm not interested in ES and NQ at all. I think NQ desperately needs to consolidate. If the market does rally, I'm more interested in RTY, YM. I think there's more potential there. Big if. Because if ES and NQ start to pull back, there's a chance these pull back as well, and we're just consolidating again on the daily. We consolidate on the daily, it's going to suck for a while. It is. I expect it, 100%. Over under Ron getting 8 hours of sleep. Probably under, if we're being honest. Probably under. I mean, you could probably see in my eyes that I'm tired, but probably under, knowing me. Anyways, y'all have a good rest of the night. I'm going to wrap up. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Alan is still live at 1 a.m. Eastern. If y'all want, be on his stream, show some love. With that, though, 7 p.m. tomorrow, I'll be back. Last stream of the week. Talk to y'all later. You too, Joe.